I'm Phillip Telfer from the nonprofit ministry Media Talk 101. I've been helping families for more than 15 years to navigate the challenges we face in the digital age with how we interact with media, entertainment, and technology. Also, I'm a homeschool dad. I have 3 teens I'm raising in our home and 1 adult child that has launched, and now I'm blessed with 2 grandchildren. Parenting has always had its difficulties, going all the way back to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. But we are facing unique challenges in the 21st century that continue to change at warp speed before our very eyes. We live in an all-you-can-eat media buffet culture, and we often pile too much media and entertainment on our plates every day. And that doesn't address the quality of what's on our plates. It's hard to know what to do, and oftentimes we're still trying to resolve yesterday's problems, and all of a sudden we find new ones facing us today. So let me share a tried and true helpful tip for your digitally connected household. Now, I'm sure most families love to sit down and watch a movie together. Mine certainly does. But I've learned over the years that media use begets more media use. We become easily conditioned to screen time, and it's not hard to develop unhealthy habits of media consumption. Before you know it, our elective time as a family can often default to more screen time. In fact, I don't know if you knew it, but according to Nielsen Media, the average person is consuming 11 hours of media each day. According to the CDC, children are consuming between 5 to 9 hours of screen time every day, depending on their age group. And that's besides screen time for schoolwork. So, what can you do? What can you do to tweak your current trajectory if you feel you could use some change in your household habits? First, sit down as a family over dinner time. And don't forget to leave your phones in another room on silent so that you can actually have some uninterrupted conversation. Next, ask about things your children love to do that doesn't involve a screen and make a family list. Maybe someone likes to play board games, or someone else likes to go for a latte at your favorite coffee shop, or someone else wants to go ice skating. Make a long list and provide your own ideas. Here's the reality check moment. Most of the things that are on that list are going to take more effort, possibly more money, and more planning. You as a parent may not be so enthusiastic once you have the list. The reality is that we default to screen time because it's the path of least resistance. It's more convenient, but don't lose heart. Let your family decide on the top 3 or 4 doable options to begin replacing some of your screen time with these activities. Then, get them on the calendar in a time that you would otherwise be vegging out in front of your TV or computer or smartphone. This is what I call replace versus takeaway. Replacing screen time with something better. But it definitely takes more work, but it's worth the effort, the investment, and you will benefit as a family from these moments. And guess what? You also receive a bonus as you take the time around the table as a family to talk about this and make your list and your plans. Let me give you some of my personal experiences that may not apply to your family, but it'll give you an inside look into my household. Several years ago, my son was interested in planes and flying, so I suggested we learn how to build and fly RC model airplanes. This takes a lot of time and some money as well. But we had a blast learning how to build the planes, which was important because we had to rebuild them over and over and over after crashing them so often. We did eventually learn how to keep them up in the air most of the time. But it was a huge investment of time for Dad. I had to carve out time in my schedule to make this happen. Let me give you another example. I was downtown San Antonio last year with my youngest daughter, who was 13, and we noticed all the electric scooters buzzing around and thought it looked pretty fun. Well, I mentioned to her we should come downtown sometime and rent scooters. She loved the idea and took it as a promise, held me to it. I eventually booked a special scooter tour for the 2 of us, and we spent a couple hours having lots of fun. In fact, we had so much fun, I bought a couple scooters. We continue to take excursions on a regular basis. Our children need help with developing these new skills of disciplined screen use, which includes taking a break from the screen for their own health and for the health of your family. But that requires parents to be purposefully engaged in this subject and not let the cultural current just sweep your family into this digital tsunami of oversaturation. Start the conversation. Be brave. Your children need your help. But that brings up another helpful hint. Before you can effectively mentor your children regarding healthy media habits, you have to model it. That's a huge issue. It's not just teens that are glued to their devices. Mom and dad are often the leading culprits. In fact, I personally believe it's one of the reasons why parents are not having these conversations. You know that your kids will call you out, and no one wants to be seen as a hypocrite. But that's not an acceptable excuse. As a parent, you are the mature person who has a better foundation to demonstrate that the digital tools are under your control and that you're not under their spell. If you are struggling with this area of your life, you can imagine how much of a struggle this is for your kids. They don't have the maturity or wisdom yet, but they need it, and they need it from you. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not lose heart in doing good, for in due time we will reap if we do not grow weary." Join us this May at one of the THSC's Call to Teach conventions. For more information and to register, visit thsc.org/convention. I look forward to seeing you there as I share more about media, entertainment, and technology from a biblical worldview. Visit MediaTalk101.org for helpful resources, and you can download our free ebook, A Parent's Guide to Thrive in the Digital Age.